Hey guys, it's Andrea here from Crafter Support and welcome to our channel. Today I want to share with you how to purchase an item off of Etsy and get it onto Canvas Workspace. So basically you go into Etsy, you purchase an item, and then once you purchase it, it'll send it to you like in an email, or you can go into your purchase history in your account and you're going to just click to download. It'll open up. And then you'll have these different files. So this first file is really important. That's the size you need to make it once you get it into Design Space. And we'll come back to that. But then the next file down, I have to go down to this file for it to pull up on mine. But here it is. And now I'm going to click Save As. And I'm going to save it into my SVG files. And you can rename it so it's easier for you to find later. I think I just name it like Stars Cup or something like that. And then we're ready to go into Design Space and pull it up. So once you're in Design Space, the important thing is that you need to remember is you need to upload this and find it back where you originally saved it at. So you're going to go down here to upload. You're just going to click on that. And then I think it says browse. I'm not really sure because it's too far away for me to see. And then you're just going to click on that and you're going to go back to where you saved it and you're going to pull it up. So I go into my quick basics where it used to be, and then it'll show up like this, and then you just name it and save it. So once you click save, it's ready to go onto your actual canvas. So it'll appear down here on your line of your projects, and you'll just click on it and click add to canvas. Sorry if you hear the drums. I'm at my daughter's baton practice with the band. Okay, so now when it pulls up on the screen, it's going to look really, really big. This is where those dimensions are important to remember. So if you went ahead and you clicked off, all you have to do is go back to your Etsy order, and it will allow you to open up that download again. So you're just going to re-click on it, and it will tell you the numbers that you need. So I'm just waiting for the download now. Open it up. So basically you have to unzip all of these files is what you're doing. So you're going to unzip them, and then you're going to double click again on the design, and then you're going to go back to the first one, and you're going to look at this size, and it's like 10 point something by 6 point something. It depends on what design you get, so they're all going to be different. So just make sure you write this down, what size you need to make it before you go back into Design Space. So now that we have that size, and again, if you're making one with like hearts and flowers, it might be a different size. So don't just think that all of them have to be this size. It really depends on your actual design. Okay, so now that we have that, we can go back to Design Space and we can start working on our project again. We can close all these extra windows out. I'm not good at computer stuff. I just save the files, download them, and move on. So here it is large, and now we have to break it down into size. So you're just going to copy whatever numbers that it told you to put in, and you're going to put that in as your measurements at the top. Make sure your design is unlocked so that way there you can change the proportions for the whole design. So right there I did the width, but then the height was kind of off. So once I put in the 6.135 or whatever it was, it'll make it all go the way it's supposed to be. So see how it turned out perfect? Like that's what it's supposed to look like. So now what we need to do is just click Bake. So I am using my Explorer 2, and I'm going to be doing black and orange, obviously. And we're using our 12 by 12 mats, and you do not flip or reverse or whatever you call your, whenever you flip your design. You don't have to do that when you're using permanent vinyl. It's just automatically, you just cut it the way it looks. Okay, so now we're going to jump on to, this is a cup we're making. These cups are really inexpensive, and Starbucks has them all the time. I think these are going to be like my go-to little Christmas gifts for people this year, like the little favors that I give out at our Christmas party and stuff. So I really thought, at first I was like, oh, these look kind of hard to make. And there were some, like I said, I'll give you some tips when we start putting it all together, but they turned out so cute. Like I have to make more of these. Now, this is ready to go. I'm just going to get my Explorer 2 ready, and we're going to start cutting. So I don't make you guys sit through the whole entire thing that it cuts. I just give you some shots of it doing what it does. And I do have it on speed. So I have it cutting faster. It just takes forever, in my opinion, if it's not set at the fast speed to cut. But now I'm doing the black. So this one was the one that gave me the most trouble when I was putting it on the actual design, the cup, were all these little tiny stars. But it was just something I had to figure out as I was working with it. And then I ended up figuring it out, and it did go a lot smoother than towards the end of the project. So here I just need to weed everything. And how I'm doing that is just pressing down or through from an angle with my weeding tool. And that really helps get all the little tiny pieces. The things that were catching on this were the stems. That's what was keeping them inside of the cut. I mean, the machine did a great job cutting it. It was just me, the way I was angling it to pull it off. And then I just check out my design to make sure I didn't leave any behind. And now we're going to do the black. So the black came off pretty easy this way with the project. But like I said, it was when I was putting it onto the cup that I had most issues. I just go ahead and pull all this off. And if I miss a star, I just come back later and I fill it in where I want it. So it's not really a huge deal. But you just have to make sure you're not placing them somewhere that a pumpkin needs to be. Does that make sense? Okay, so there I'm just pulling a star off with my finger. And I'm placing it where it needs to go. And now we're ready to weed out the inside of the jack-o'-lanterns, which this was a tedious job because some of them just didn't want to, the eyes didn't want to come out. They tucked under themselves, but we figured it out, me and myself and I. And then I need my transfer tape. So I am using Cricut transfer tape. If you don't like Cricut transfer tape, just use whatever you have. Just make sure you're not using the strong grip. Make sure it'll just say Cricut transfer tape. Now, a tip I have for this is to lay it back down on your adhesive mat. And this will hold it into place so that it's not moving around while you're trying to layer the transfer tape onto it. And I kind of make a hinge here. You'll see at the bottom, I just hinge it so that I can tell if it's where I need to cut it. And I just take my roller and my cutting knife from Cricut, and I just trim off the piece that I don't need. And then it's ready to just roll and place down. So again, I just start peeling at an angle, and I turn my the drums are messing with my head. And I just turn the piece around and kind of come in at an angle with everything. And then I just scrape it. This transfer tape for me works really, really well. So I don't really have to do a lot of scraping. And then I bring the stars and the bats out, and I just have to layer. And what I'm going to use is a piece of parchment paper so I can see where everything's going and make sure that I'm not putting a pumpkin where there's a star or a bat. And that makes it pretty easy. I hinge the side, press it down, and then I can just lift the parchment paper out and press the vinyl or the transfer tape back down. And now it's ready to be peeled and placed onto my cup. So here I'm just cutting a little piece out, and that will make it so that whenever I'm put it on the cup, I have some leeway. So if I don't get it right the first time, nothing's ruined. There's just a little bit of sticky area, if that makes sense. So I lay my design right on top of the parchment paper with that opening, and I try to steady my cup as best as I can. I need to make one of those little cup holders. I think I need to get that done because I'm going to be making a lot more of these. I really like how it turned out. I'm actually using mine now. So now you're just lining it up. So you can see kind of where the Starbucks emblem is showing, and that's what we want. So once I get it into place, I'm just going to push the rest of it down and around. But be careful with this, because my biggest problem with when I started this piece was my transfer tape got stuck to itself, and it started to pull down instead of pull at an angle. And that kind of made it go a lot tougher for me. But once I got everything back in place, I realized if I press down and rub it and then pull it at an angle, where I was like just doing my normal pull at an angle with a little bit of pressure, I don't know if it's because the cup is bendy, like it just wasn't working the way that, if you do it on a piece of wood or something hard and flat, where this I was giving, there was too much resistance. Is that the right word, guys? I think that's the right word. There's too much, or maybe not enough resistance, because I was pressing down and it was bending instead of me having a solid base to press it down on. So it did take a little bit of time, but once I got it, it was good. And it ended up turning out so cute. I do come back later and I add those extra black stars on that hadn't come off the first time, but I'm just cutting away at the transfer tape so I can make it a little bit more manageable. So I would say trim off your transfer tape as you get pieces down. It just gives you less opportunity to get it stuck to itself. But other than that, it turned out adorable. I love it. I absolutely love it. So I will for sure be making more of these at Christmas time, all the holidays. I saw a Thanksgiving one I want to share with you guys later. But yeah, so I hope you guys are enjoying the 13 weeks of Halloween. This is video 5, I believe. And yeah. So I do want to do something to the lid though. The lid has nothing on it, but I'm trying to decide if I want to put like Hocus Pocus or some more stars or bats on it. I'm not really sure what I want to do with the lid, but I will do something with that and I'll share it with you guys when I do. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying making all of my Halloween crafts early this year. And yeah, so I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great week. Have a great day. And thanks for watching. Bye.